morning, everyone. Ignore the fact that I have Real Housewives on Beverly Hills on in the background. It's the only thing I can access on this TV that isn't just music, and I like to have Housewives as my comfort show, to be fair. It's fine. We are just about to leave for the track, which is very exciting. I spent a little bit of time last night sort of looking a bit more at the order of the 2 days. I also spent some time this morning figuring out what entrance to the track I am supposed to be using. And actually, I thought I was going to have to be going like all the way to the other side of the track and it'd be like an hour walk. No. It is literally the one that's just down there. It's entrance 3, so we are absolutely grand and good to go. I'm just doing a little finishing touch on I need to go and brush my teeth, and that's about it, and then we're good to go. I'm very excited. First order of the day is going to be free practice 2. We missed free practice 1 because that was yesterday, and we didn't go to the track yesterday. Our ticket didn't allow us to, but we got free practice 2 today. We've got loads of, I kind of went through it all yesterday, but we've got loads of qualifying for the Porsche Carrera Cup, Michelin Le Mans Cup qualifying. We've got the Ligier European Series race. We've got qualifying for ELMS, which is going to be from about 3:30, and we'll be leaving the track about just after 20 past 8, after the final races of the day. But I'm about to pack up my little bag, make sure I've got everything, and we're going to head to the track. Final parts of the Ligier, I believe it is, European Series ending just now. And we watched a little bit of it. I don't really know who the drivers are. We came halfway through, there was 3 safety cars. However, there is a little bit of time before the practice 2 for the Le Mans, the ELMS race. So we're going to go find a spot. We watched some of the Ligier in the main grandstand. It's just here. In the main grandstand, there's pretty much, with your ticket, you've got free access just to roam about the circuit, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go and find, sorry if you can't hear me, I can barely hear myself. So we're going to go find a little bit of a spot for practice 2. And today we're just going to kind of rove about the circuit. See some sides. I want to try and figure out where I want to sit for qualifying later on today for ELMS. That's the big part of today, is qualifying. We're also going to watch a bit of the Porsche Carrera Cup, and yeah, we're basically just going to have a great day. We're basically just going to have a great day at the track, so let's rock and roll. FP2 is done. We have until about 3:20 before the next session of ELMS is on. I do, however, want to catch the Ligier race 2. Right now, Porsche Carrera Cup qualifying, and then there's 3 or 4 sessions for the Michelin qualifying. We're actually in quite a cool wee spot. This is coming round turn 3/4, I believe, and this is the view just on top of a wee hill. Basically taking this time to go and scout out the rest of the track, see what the crack is. I need to get some food. I want to see the other areas of the track, because again, I want to find a good place to watch the Ligier race and a good place for qualifying. The grandstand at turn 1 seemed like a pretty decent spot for ELMS qualifying. Not too sure about the race. I don't know yet where we will go for the race, the ELMS race tomorrow, but so far I'm having a great time. So we're just going to see what else is going on at the other parts of the track, and just watch some Porsche cars fly about, which is quite fun. Mission 1 is done, which was get myself some food because I'm absolutely starving, and hit entry. I had wandered my way so far that I'm actually on the inside of the tracks. Just come through the paddock, all down there. We got some food at a little like burger van over there, and then there's actually a viewing platform this way, which is from above the pits. Let's go check it out. So we are actually heading along to the last little part of the track that I want to check out, which is turn 10. Now, the grandstand seems pretty packed. We'll see, might be able to sneak a little spot in there for Wally for the ELMS race, but we'll see how it is. Apparently the view is class. race 2 of Ligier done, and we've now gotten on to qualifying for tomorrow's ELMS race. I'm just chilling in the paddock now. I'm actually going to go to the fan zone and watch the rest of qualifying there. I'm really keen to see the LMP2 category, because that's where this... Yeah, really keen to see the LMP2 category, because that is where Jamie Chadwick's racing, it's where Iron Lynx is racing. So I think I'm going to watch that at the fan zone. That grandstand is hella crowded though, so we're going to stay in the paddock at the moment. There's some cool things going on from the Michelin Le Mans Cup. They've got all the cars coming back into their little areas, and so we're seeing some quite cool stuff. So I'll show you that. As I said, we've got about 20 minutes before LMP2 start qualifying, so let's go take a look around the paddock. Bloody brilliant day. We caught some racing at some different parts, or I mean it was a mixture of practice, races and qualifying at different parts of the circuit, and sort of scoped out, as I said, where we wanted to watch the ELMS race tomorrow. I'm thinking the grandstand at turn 10. I have to say though that the view from turns 12, I think it is, 11 and 12 is probably a bit better, just higher up the hill. A lot of people say that the grandstand at turn 10 is the best view, and whilst the view was great, I actually think just that little bit higher up the hill facing the other direction was... Now the only problem with that being, tomorrow morning we are in the paddock very early, because we have a full pit walk. We're going to be on the grid. We've got lots and lots to do, and to get then to turn 11 you have to then leave the inside of the track and go like outside the track and all that kind of stuff, so it's a bit of a trek, and I don't think I want to do that if I'm already in the paddock. Turn 10, the grandstand's right there, so I think that's what we're going to be doing. However, as I said, a great day all round. Qualifying for the race we watched in the paddock. I didn't watch it on the track because I'll be completely honest with you, I found a lovely little spot in the paddock in the sun. I got pizza and a can of Fanta, and honestly I just couldn't move. I could not move. So we watched qualifying from there. It was actually quite nice to be able to keep track of exactly where each person was, because obviously if I'm watching it on track I'm just seeing them go through a little bit. I don't know what their timings or anything are, so it was nice to be able to catch a full idea of what is going on for tomorrow's race. But yeah, just caught qualifying from the comfort of the paddock in the sun with my pizza and my Fanta lemon. I think that's perfect. The Michelin Le Mans race is about to start, so I think we'll catch that at the main grandstand, just so that we don't have too far to walk when that ends back to the hotel, and then up the back to the hotel, and then all over again tomorrow. So yeah, back to the main grandstand to watch that, and then it's shower. And I have walked nowhere near what I did yesterday, but my legs are obviously still feeling it from the insane amount of steps I did yesterday. So it's been nice to take it easy today, but I am still feeling it a little bit. So it's definitely a bath in bed when we get home to the hotel. As you'll probably be able to tell, we didn't actually watch the Michelin Le Mans Cup race from the main grandstand. We watched it from turn one. I figured that would give us a bit better action. And, oh, nearly sat my phone. It did. It was honestly, I think, the correct decision, because the sun was setting, it was shining on that grandstand, it was nice and warm, and got great views of some class overtaking. Got that little bit of spicy action in lap one, turn one, which was just on the clips I showed you there. And do you know what, all around, just a very good decision to sit there, to be quite honest with you. It was a very enjoyable experience. The race was under safety car conditions. I would probably say in total for about half an hour out of the 2 hours. There was a lot of safety cars, and I ended up leaving the track a little bit early because the race got red flagged. Iron Dame's driver, I believe, made contact with a Ferrari driver, and it just sent the Iron Dame's driver, the Iron Dames, straight into the barriers, and it was quite a wreck, to be honest with you. Fire out the back of the car, bumpers, everything off it. Like, it was a complete, some of the barrier was on the track. So that was red flagged like immediately. I want to say 45 minutes to go. When we were sat, we couldn't see it because it was into coming down the back straight towards turn 10. And as soon as it happened, we were like, oh, there's a red flag. And we all whipped our phones out because none of us knew what was going on, and went onto YouTube to watch the broadcast, and seen that there had been obviously a really big accident, and that's what happened. So left that grandstand, popped into the main grandstand on the way past, and seen them actually bringing the wreckage of the Iron Dames car back into the pits. And I was like, I don't think they're going to restart this race because they'll have to repair the barriers, all this kind of stuff. They did restart it, but as I was coming back to my hotel, which was just beside the track, I could hear them, so I popped onto the broadcast, and they were under safety car conditions. I don't know what else had happened. I don't know whether they decided just to finish the race behind the safety car. Not entirely too sure. However, fantastic day. All round great day. Very much enjoyed it. Can't wait for it all again tomorrow, although be it is just the ELMS race tomorrow, I believe, is it not? Oh, there's the Porsche Carrera Cup race in the morning, which we won't really get to watch. We will be heading, it starts at 9. So we'll catch a bit of it as we're sort of walking round the track to get to the pits. But the main big one tomorrow is the ELMS race, the 4-hour in Barcelona, which I'm very excited for. And part of me wishes that I could like sit at turn 1 and watch that, and sit at turn 10, and sit at the other part around turn 12, and sit at the main grandstand. But unfortunately there's only one of me, so I can't do that. But I think we'll have a great time at turn 10. It's 10 past 8 now, and I am going to go to the bar and have a nightcap and relax-a-vu, go through all of the photos and videos I took today, and just have a pretty chill night before I retire to be up early tomorrow. So I will see you all in the morning. Good morning, everyone. We are heading into the paddock right now. We are about to go and do a pit lane walk and a grid walk pre-race, and then we're going to hightail it up to our seats. So see you after the pit and grid walk. I mean, it was absolutely, I've realised I've been wearing my hat squint all weekend. That was class. It was absolutely mobbed, as expected, to be fair. The pitch was actually insufferable with how many people were there. Did, however, get to meet Jamie Chadwick, which was fun. We seen the guys down at Iron Links, that was fun. Went all the way back round because we had to wait for the cars to come out the pits and form on the grid. We then hopped onto the grid, which you've seen. Very fun, very, very cool. Soaking it all up. We're actually just left it about to do the national anthem. We're going to go and try and take our seats at turn 10. Did, however, on the grid, get to meet Theo Porcher. He was stood beside the car, got a wee selfie with him, and just had a bit of a chit chat, to be honest. And yeah, that was lovely. And now, as I said, we're just making our way to the turn 10 grandstand to try and grab a decent seat for the race, which I'm very excited about. Very, very excited. I also need to try and find some water because it is going to be 25 degrees here today, and I have not had a drop of water in me since I've left the hotel. It is currently 20 degrees and there is no wind. There is no wind or anything, so we need to get some water. But I'll see you when we get to turn 10. So we can watch the podium when the race finishes. So here we go. What a day that was. I've just come back to the hotel. I'm absolutely exhausted. I have to say that was one of the best days of my life. That race was incredible. I loved every second of it. It doesn't feel like I was watching a 4-hour long race. It doesn't feel like it was 4 hours. It went like that. I have to say congratulations to CLX Motorsport who won the LMP3 category. Congratulations to the Iron Dames who won the LMGT3 category. When we were sat at the grandstand, we moved for the final grandstand, you'll probably be able to tell. There was a safety car at some point throughout the race, and I think we had about an hour and a half to go, and I used that opportunity to go and get some food and a juice and everything like that, and decided to actually go back to the main grandstand. I found a little under the track moment, wish I'd known that earlier on. So did a little under the track moment and sat at the main grandstand for like the final hour, just so I could see the last few moments, everyone crossing the finish line, and the podium. Turns out everyone had the same idea, because that grandstand, which was, I would say, about half full, was chocker for the end of that race. When Iron Dames crossed that finish line, every woman up and down that grandstand just leapt to their feet, which was a lovely moment, I have to say. Congratulations to IDEX Sport, who won the LMP2 category. Congratulations to Jamie Chadwick, who is the first female in the history of ELMS to win in the top class. So well done, Jamie. It was actually such a joy watching her race at the beginning of the beginning of the race, and then to see her up on the podium was amazing. IDEC actually just missed winning the whole thing. Actually, the phenomenal last lap overtake by AF Corsa car number 83. It was insane. That little battle that they had on that final lap, the whole track was just silent. The whole grandstand that I was in was just silent, watching the screen for that what was going to happen, and a great victory for them. A little bit upset by Iron Lynx, who just had problems out there. I think it was electrical faults for both their cars, but it did look like they were going to win, and I'm a little bit sad they didn't. But yeah, that was absolutely class, and I'm devastated that I'm just going to be leaving here tomorrow and going back to work on Tuesday. Like, I'm not going to be going to the track tomorrow. That's quite sad, isn't it? But on the upside, it's only 3 weeks until we fly off to Monaco for the Formula E. So that'll be very exciting. We're flying out on the Thursday. We're going to spend some time in the little town that we're staying in Menton, just down the coast towards Italy. And then we have Saturday and Sunday in Monaco, 2 practice sessions, 2 qualifying sessions, 2 races over the 2 days. So that is going to be very, very exciting. And it is another weekend where we're missing a Formula One race. This weekend, obviously, we missed Japan. However, it seems like that wasn't the worst thing. It seems like an incredibly dull race to have watched. From all the reports I'm hearing. As I said, keep an eye out, because we are going to be going to Monaco in a few weeks for Formula E. I was also looking at, because I've had such a nice time here, I've also been looking at going to the 4 hours of Spa, Silverstone, or Portugal. I believe it's Spa and Silverstone that aren't on Formula One weekends. As I said, I'm missing Miami for the Formula E, so I kind of don't want to miss another race weekend, to be quite honest with you. I'm alright missing Miami, because Miami can be actually quite a boring race too. So potentially going to the 4 hours of Spa, 4 hours of Silverstone, maybe Portugal. All of these are up in the air. It completely depends on accommodation prices and like flights and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be the big deciding factor. But I had such a nice time. This has been such a good experience. Like, I came into this weekend knowing pretty much nothing about ELMS, and I have left an absolute fan of it. Like, I will be watching this series now. It was so much fun, and I had the best time, and it was such a delight to meet Theo Porcher and meet Jamie Chadwick, see her on the podium. And as I said, it was a shame that Iron Lynx didn't manage to really make an impression, but the rest of it, I had such a good time, and it was just amazing. So thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed coming with us to the 4 hours of Barcelona. We will be back very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love you. Bye.